New breaking news in downtown LA. At least 2 people have been killed in a shooting following a warehouse party overnight. 6 others were injured. 2 of them remain in critical condition. KTLA's Aaron Myers live now at the scene with the latest. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Jessica. We know that police came to that party. They shut it down, and then a couple hours later, they were called back when shots rang out. And you can see this scene is still active here. They do have a large area blocked off near East 14th Place and Griffith for this investigation. The shooting taking place just down the street from where we are near Paloma Street. And family and friends of one of the victims, they did share this photo. They say this is 29-year-old Gregory DeRiso. He is in the red beanie. His father, girlfriend, and friends have been here at the scene all morning and tell us he is the father of 3 young children and that police confirmed he was killed in this shooting. And video shows what a chaotic scene it was. People running down the street trying to flee the area. Investigators say around 11 p.m. they saw a possible armed individual go into a party. Officers did shut down that party, which had about 50 to 60 people in attendance. They say one person was detained for possession of a firearm. About 2 hours later, they came back to the same area for a shots fired radio call. Now, a large crowd was seen blocking the roadway, and at one point, police also formed a skirmish line. Multiple ambulances arrived at the scene, the wounded on stretchers. Gregory DeRiso's father spoke to us this morning, telling us how he heard about what happened.
His friend, mom called me, and I answered my phone. She tell me bad news. I said, what the bad news, crying? They tell me she believe her son tell her my son got shot. And I've been telling them to stay away from her son.
So they told this guy to stay out of this mess, right? To get out of here, stop being involved with whatever it is happening in the streets. Don't be there. The police also had already shut down the party. And now, let me tell you what's going to happen. And this is usually what happens and how it plays out in the community. Because it's not like everybody in the party don't already know who was there. Guy was hop skipping around the police, and they wasn't even trying to chase him or anything like that. Another person that y'all seen on the video. And so what's going to happen is nobody is going to say nothing. No snitches, no arrests, no nothing. And here's the message that I preach to people before we even get to the thick of it. When you see situations that don't look ideal, that ain't got no security, that you don't have to go through a metal detector for, that the police ain't sanctioned, stay away. You got to get out the way, especially if you got kids. And they're saying that this guy, because more than one person apparently got shot and died, they say that this guy in particular that they're talking about had 3 children. 3 children. Before I do things sometimes, and now, I mean, it's just inherently programmed in me before I even get into the streets or anything like that. Before I do anything in life at this point in my life, I am always thinking twice about my daughter. I just got done, and I was telling people on the Millionaire Morning Show today, because I was showing them my results, of making sure that my life insurance policy is up to date to ensure that if anything was to ever happen to me, and I was talking to my daughter, and I made sure that I talked to the agent about my beneficiaries, and I'm boosted it up and stuff, because as a responsible human being in society, I am proactively putting myself in a position to always make sure that my people are taken care of, which also means that I have to be responsible for the places that I go, the people that I hang around. And unfortunately in the community, and the black people don't like to hear this, but you have to start separating yourself. And it's not okay to just have a good time because everybody don't have the same interests at heart. First of all, unsanctioned event. Secondly, they had already shut it down. Now everybody want to be outside of the hospital. You see them? You see everybody outside of the hospital? I'm not going. I'm not going. People ask me all the time, even when I do, yo, you going to the after party? What? The who? That's an unsanctioned event. I'm sorry, I can't make it. And maybe it's just because I'm getting older and wiser and I'm making better decisions, but I can't. I can't be a part of something, that's not going to serve me. That's not going to ensure my safety. When I go to a basketball game, they go through, you can't even bring a person that joint. So if you get into it, you're just going to get thrown out, and that's just going to be the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be involved in something like this,
The
bro.
California hospital, a large crowd was spotted outside. We believe some of the injured were taken there, some taken by ambulance, some self-transported. Once again, police say 8 were shot. A man, Gregory DeRiso, died at the scene, and a woman at the hospital. Of the injured, we do know at least one person was undergoing surgery.
Crazy, bro. Now people want answers and they trying to figure it out.
Search is on for the gunman in a deadly shooting in downtown LA. It was close to where a big after party was happening. 2 people died and several others were hurt. KCAL News reporter Tina Patel is at the scene where the father of one of those victims spoke out.
Family members of one of the victims have been coming here all morning trying to get answers from police about what happened, whether their loved one was targeted, and if so, why. But police don't have many answers yet. Gregory DeRiso's family was too emotional to talk to us on camera, but they did share this photo of the 29-year-old. He's the tall one in the red hat. His father told us that Gregory lived in Koreatown with his girlfriend. He had actually talked about coming over and having dinner with his father last night, but then he decided to meet up with some friends, and that's when the shooting happened. DeRiso's friends and family don't know if someone was trying to shoot him or if he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Police say multiple people were shot. There are dozens of evidence markers here on the street. DeRiso died here. Another woman passed away at the hospital from gunshot wounds, and 6 other people were injured, some critically. Right now, police don't have any information about a suspect or suspects. They say there had been a party earlier in the night. Around 11 p.m., officers patrolling the area saw someone with a gun enter the party. So they went in, arrested that person for having a firearm, and then shut down the party. A couple hours later, around 1 a.m., is when they got the call about shots being fired.
They did disperse a crowd. It could be that some remained at scene and then the incident occurred, but we don't have that information as of yet. We don't know at this time what triggered this incident. Nevertheless, we're going to do everything possible, to make sure that this is a thorough investigation.
Detectives are talking to witnesses and looking for cameras in the area to see if that can help them piece together exactly what happened and whether this shooting was connected to the party earlier.
You know they're not going to tell you what's happening. Listen, you don't need no cameras. Everybody already know what happened. Everybody know who the shooter is, why they was there. You usually don't find these parties just happenstance and just stumble in there. It's word of mouth and people know who was invited, and the police had already shut it down. And so they had arrested somebody that had already came in with a pistol. And then y'all started the party back up because y'all didn't want to go home and take care of your kids. And it's all the same suspects, all the same culprits. So you know it's a part of the black community. And this is the result. This is the result. You can't even keep blaming the police because the police officers, they respond to something that is already in place, already is happening. They are not a part of the culture itself that then has this type of situation that comes in. So this is the result of it. Now people are complaining about it. They're whining about it. They don't want to have a conversation and be accountable about it. But yep, this is how it happens inside of the community. And now everybody is crying. They want to be front and center. They all going to go to the hospital as though they don't know who it is. And guess what? Ain't nobody even helping the police find them. You know what they say in the community? Do your job. Do your job and find him. They don't really want justice, or they going to wait to try to get street justice. Ain't no prosecuting, none of that stuff. So, me personally, I'm over it. I'm over the community. I'm over the culture. And I know that you just got to remove yourself completely from it if you want to be safe. And, we want to keep blaming the man from it or the man for it, but we don't want to take responsibility of what happens in our community. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life.